I stood in the center of my kitchen, surrounded by smoke and the smell of burnt toast, while my younger brother asked me if we were having charcoal for dinner again. I was 29 years old, and I realized that while I could manage a team at work, I couldn't even manage a frying pan at home. Hello and welcome to English Unwritten. Today, we have an amazing story for you. This story is slow, simple, and easy to follow English. So listen carefully and let your English improve naturally, one story at a time. My name is Maya. I have a very busy life. I work in an office. I have a cat. I have a brother and a father who live with me. For a long time, our kitchen was a quiet place. We didn't use the oven. We didn't use the stove. Every night, I would come home from work and look at my phone. I would open an app and order pizza. Or I would order burgers. Or I would order fried chicken. Maya, my father said one night. He was looking at his plate of greasy fries. I miss the smell of your mother's soup. I miss the sound of a knife cutting vegetables. I miss real food. My mother had passed away 2 years ago. She was the heart of our kitchen. She was a magician with salt and pepper. When she died, the magic left our house. I was too sad to cook. I was too afraid to try. I thought, I am not a cook. I am a consumer. But that night, I looked at my father's tired eyes. I looked at my brother, who was eating cold pizza for the 3rd time that week. I felt a deep sense of shame. I realized that if I wanted a happy, healthy home, I had to pay for it with my effort. I had to learn. The next day, I went to the supermarket. I felt like I was in a foreign country. I looked at the vegetables. I didn't know the difference between parsley and cilantro. I didn't know how to pick a good tomato. I bought a bag of potatoes, some onions, and a carton of eggs. Today, I told myself, I will make an omelet. A simple, yellow, perfect omelet. I went home. I put on an apron. I felt like a chef. But the feeling did not last long. I cracked the eggs, but the shells fell into the bowl. I put the pan on the stove, but I made the fire too high. Sizzle, smoke, smell. The omelet was black on the outside and liquid on the inside. It looked like a disaster. I threw it in the trash and sat on the floor. I wanted to cry. I thought about the chefs on TV. I thought about my mother. I almost gave up. But then I remembered that I was trying to be a chef in one day. But learning takes time. You don't see the change in 1 hour. You see the change in 1 month. I decided to start a routine. Every morning at 6 a.m., before work, I would practice one small thing. Monday, I practiced how to cut an onion without crying. Tuesday, I practiced how to boil an egg perfectly. Wednesday, I practiced how to wash rice. In the beginning, my family was worried. Maya, what is that smell? My brother would ask. Maya, why is there flour on the ceiling? My father would laugh. But I didn't stop. I found my grandmother's old recipe book. It was a small blue book with stains from oil and sugar. The pages were yellow. I opened it and found a recipe for Sunday soup. It was the soup my father missed. I read the ingredients: carrots, potatoes, celery, chicken, and a secret pinch of love. I spent 4 hours making that soup. I watched the water boil. I smelled the steam. I tasted the broth. I realized that cooking is like a conversation. You have to listen to the food. You have to wait for the bubbles. That Sunday, I put the big bowl of soup on the table. My father took a spoon. He tasted it. He closed his eyes. For a moment, it was very quiet. "Maya," he said. A tear ran down his cheek. "It tastes like home. It tastes like your mother." That was the best moment of my life. I wasn't just a girl with a spoon. I was a daughter who had brought the magic back to the kitchen. After that, I became obsessed. I started to learn about spices. I learned that garlic is a friend, but too much garlic is an enemy. I learned that a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife. I started to cook for my friends. I started to bring my own lunch to the office. My coworkers were shocked. "Maya, did you buy that at a restaurant?" they asked. "No," I said with a smile. "I made it myself." I realized that learning to cook had changed more than my cooking. I wasn't just better at making pasta. I was better at being patient. I was better at solving problems. If a sauce was too salty, I didn't panic. I added a potato to soak up the salt. If a cake didn't rise, I made it into a pudding. The final test came last month. It was my father's 60th birthday. Usually, we went to an expensive restaurant. But this year, I said, no. I will cook a 3-course meal for the whole family. There were 12 people: my aunts, my uncles, and my cousins. I spent 2 days preparing. I made roasted chicken with rosemary. I made a large garden salad. I made a chocolate cake from scratch. My kitchen was small, but my heart was big. I stayed calm when the oven was taking too long. I focused on the preparation I had learned. When everyone sat down, I was nervous. I served the chicken. I served the wine. My Uncle George, who is very difficult to please, took a bite. "Who cooked this?" he asked loudly. "I did," I said. "This is the best chicken I have eaten in 10 years, he said. Everyone started to clap. My brother looked at me and whispered, "No charcoal today, Maya." I sat down at the end of the table. I looked at my family laughing and talking. I looked at the empty plates. I realized that cooking is the ultimate act of love. It is a way to say, "I care about you," without using any words. I learned that sometimes success starts with a burnt omelet and a messy kitchen. I learned that I am not just a consumer. I am a creator. Today, I still make mistakes. Sometimes I burn the cookies. Sometimes I forget to add the sugar. But I don't care. I am no longer afraid of the kitchen. Learning to cook for my family was the hardest and most beautiful thing I have ever done. It gave me a voice I didn't know I had. It gave me a way to connect with my past and build my future. If you are afraid to learn something new, remember my kitchen. Remember the smoke, remember the burnt eggs, and remember that the most delicious meals always start with a single small step. The secret ingredient to any success is the courage to start, even when you are afraid of making a mess. If this story of growth and family touched your heart and helped you practice your English today, please subscribe to English Unwritten and join our community of learners. I have a question for you. Is there a special dish that reminds you of your home or your childhood? Tell me about it in the comments below. Describing your favorite food is a wonderful way to practice your English vocabulary. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in our next story.